Hello, my name is Jenna Nielsen. I'm a professor of theater at Adams State University. Welcome to our Theater 352 Playwriting Final. Normally, we would meet in person and be able to share their creative work through a play reading format with friends and family. Unfortunately, as we finished the semester virtually, we were unable to have a live staged reading. The course changed directions and we recorded a virtual play reading for you. There are 7 playwrights, each sharing approximately 10 minutes of their work. I hope that you enjoy what the students have worked so hard over the semester to cultivate.
Blue Angel by Joshua Clark. Characters: narrator, Melinda Hornet, Penny Johnson, Neil the bookkeeper, Officer Dowd, Officer Ivora, Winston Hornet. The following are the 5th and 6th scenes from Blue Angel by Joshua Clark. As scene 5 opens at the Spitted Covered Bookstore in Eureka, California in 1930, Penny Johnson, a stylish flapper girl, is sitting very quietly nearby the window, looking very sadly towards the ground. As Melinda Hornet walks into the bookshop, Penny runs to her frantically, and they warmly embrace one another and kiss both cheeks.
I'm so happy to see you, Melinda. I was scared maybe you might not be here.
Sorry about that. Winston's drunkenness has made me late once again.
Your coat is so beautiful, Melinda. Where did you get it?
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. This is a polar bear fur from Antarctica. Clark Gable gave it to me on my 18th birthday.
He's Louise. I would do just about anything in the world to meet Clark Gable.
Oh, I'm sure you'll get your chance, sweetheart. I'll let you know the next time he pops by. Anyhow, tell me how you've been doing.
I've been far better, if you want me to be completely honest with you.
Oh, honey, tell me about it. 4 days ago, I discovered that I am only making 15% of what Freddie Fairbanks and my other male co-stars are earning for the film. This is, of course, despite the fact that I am playing the title character, who is the lead of the movie. And I have many more lines and much more screen time than they do.
Oh, Melinda, is there anything you can do?
Not really. When I complained to Mr. DeMille about the issue, he became very angry and told me I could kiss his ass.
No thank you.
I know, seriously, he said that $100,399 was more than enough money for my piss poor acting, and if I didn't like it, then I could go back to Redneck, West Virginia and bake my husband a pie, and he will replace me with Faye Banniger.
But aren't you from Omaha? That's so rude. There's no way he actually said that. There's absolutely no way.
Let me assure you, he most certainly did.
There is no way he could possibly be serious. Faye Bannitor is almost 40 years old. Absolutely no one in America wants to see her play Cinderella in a movie. Is he too stupid to have realized this?
No, honey, he knows that, and I know that. But he does not know that I know that because he very earnestly believes that women have the intellectual capability of small kindergartners. And you had better believe that I am not going to tell him anything different because I would prefer for the man to be off guard as much as possible.
Right.
So what about you? Is there something wrong?
Oh, I don't know, Melinda. I really don't know if I should talk about it.
Oh my God, Penny, you have to tell me.
Well, last Saturday I was invited to a war movie, All Quiet on the Western Front, with a young man from the city, Mr. Benny Hamilton. We have been to dinner and to the shows several times.
Go on.
So we watched the picture and it was very good, and he behaved like the perfect gentleman the entire time.
Of course.
And at the end of the night, he asked me if I would like to get married.
Oh my gosh, Penny. Ah!
Melinda bursts with glee and waves her arms exuberantly until she instantaneously freezes upon seeing Penny's bitter, sullen expression.
When my father found out about the matter, he started screaming. He threw brandy all over my face and my hair and then shattered the glass on the counter.
Your father has absolutely no right to behave in this manner. This is your marriage prospects. This is your life.
He told me that a young woman as fat and as badly dressed as myself was fortunate to receive any marriage proposals at all, much less one from Benny Hamilton, who is from one of Oyster Bay's most prestigious families.
I really wish that your father would save it for somebody who gives an eighth of a shit. We cannot allow him to pressure you into marriage to the wrong man. It is 1930, goddammit, not 1599, when women were regarded as cheap chattel to be given away at her father's convenience. You are only 18 years old. You have years to meet the right guy and build up a strong and lasting love.
I'm 24.
Holy shit, you need to get married like yesterday. No matter, I will assemble a collection of handsome suitors for you from Hollywood's elite inner circle. I'm sure that one of them will be the man you have always dreamed of.
Somehow I question that.
Come on, Penny. You need to be optimistic. Let's talk about this more inside.
Neil, the bookkeeper, is sitting at the counter behind an 1880s mechanical cash register near a large bookshelf.
Hi there, Neil. How are you this evening?
I'm doing quite all right, Miss Hornet. Is there anything I can do for you two lovely ladies today?
Parrot feathers.
Parrot feathers.
Indeed.
Neil looks all around the bookshop and then carefully removes one book from the bookshelf, and the bookshelf begins to slide away from the wall, revealing a raucous underground bar packed with people dancing, laughing, drinking, and smoking. Popular blues musician Louis Armstrong stands on stage with a brass band behind him as he sings the Negro spiritual song Go Down Moses to his audience.
Get me a gin and tonic, will ya?
Indeed.
Neil turns to Penny.
And for you, miss?
Oh my gosh, I've never tried alcohol before.
We will have 2 gin and tonics.
Right away, miss. You may say wherever you would like. We'll be back with your drinks in only a moment.
Oh my gosh, that is not Louis Armstrong.
Oh, you'd better believe it, honey. The 3rd Friday of every month, Mr. Louis Armstrong will be right here performing at the fitted cover for all their charming patrons, such as ourselves.
Wow.
I know, it's really great. Let's find somewhere to sit.
Oh my gosh, is that fair-skinned girl dancing with the black man?
Yeah, isn't that neat? You would never, ever see something like that in the so-called polite society in which we are currently living. The secret tavern below this bookshop is a safe space. You can say anything you'd like to say. You can do anything you want. You can be whoever you actually are without fear of judgment or feeling ashamed.
Yeah? What if you were gay? Is this a safe space for them to be who they are without judgment and shame?
Oh my gosh. Do you think that that's really a thing? I think it's really big in Germany right now, but just doesn't seem like it's real to me.
Like how so?
Like, I don't think that the gays really like each other. They act as though they are attracted to one another, but really they're attracted to girls.
But if the gays are attracted to girls rather than each other, why do they choose to live such a ridiculous illegal lifestyle?
See, now that's the part that I just can't really wrap my head around. Do you take headache powder?
I love headache powder.
Indeed.
At that, Melinda removes a very ornate box from her purse. She opens it and uses a small silver spoon to take white powder out of the box, which she begins to form into straight lines on the table.
Honestly, Penny, I really think that these homosexuals might be some kind of Adrenaline addicts. I think that they feel a very intense thrill from being in a manner which might cause them to be sent to prison. I think that the fear of being caught would be absolutely nerve-wracking, but I guess some people are deeply aroused by reckless danger.
You know, Melinda, I've got to be completely honest with you.
Yes?
I find it to be absolutely nuts that alcohol is illegal in this country, and yet we can purchase products such as headache powder and toothache drop, where the principal ingredient is blow, legally at a pharmacy for $1.67.
Not anymore. That also has now been illegalized by the Dangerous Drug Act.
Seriously?
Seriously, but you had better believe that I stocked up on headache powder and toothache drops before that happened.
Oh, good.
My favorite cafes and restaurants used to have a very delicious drink of cocaine blended with cola nuts from Africa, but they have since been forced to adjust their recipe. I find the entire affair to be absolutely idiotic.
From offstage.
Police!
Penny and Melinda stare at one another in horror as Louis Armstrong and the many rowdy people frantically scramble to find a way out of the bar. Melinda's on the verge of tears.
God damn it. No. This cannot be happening right now.
Penny grasps Melinda's hand.
It's okay, Melinda. We are going to get past this.
You don't understand. No parents anywhere in this country are going to bring their little girls and boys to watch Cinderella be played by a slutty, drunken flapper girl. This is not supposed to be my image. If I get arrested right now, DeMille will definitely fire me from this picture and sue me for my commission. That doesn't work because I already spent over half of it.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. That was my money, goddammit. That is my earnings for the hard work that I've done. We have to get out of here.
Penny glances off stage and then shakes her head at Melinda.
Honey, there's already cops waiting outside. Folks are being lined up against the wall and getting arrested.
Officer Dowd and Officer Ivora walk into the bar.
Oh, well, looks like we have a couple of little ladies here who think they're too classy to make a run for it, like all the rest of the riffraff.
Melinda puts her face in her palms and begins weeping.
Please, officer, I can earnestly promise you that neither one of us have ever been here before in our lives.
Yeah. I know one has. That's what all of those stupid assholes in the paddy wagon outside said as well. None of them have ever been here before.
I bet they've never had a drink before either.
Both police officers laugh heartily.
All right. Now let's get these bitches handcuffed and shackled, up like the rest of them.
Please, sir, we're both very young, devoutly Christian girls. An arrest may taint our reputation.
Of course. I expect that is why there are literally 3 lines on the table waiting for you, 2 little snowbirds to snort it up.
That shit's illegal now, you know.
Yes, so I've heard.
No way. Is that Melinda Hornet from Swanee River?
Melinda perks her head up and attempts to act very cheerful, despite the fact she was openly weeping only a second ago.
Yes, sir, that's me. Would you two fine young gentlemen like an autograph today? Or would you perhaps like to have a photograph made?
I regret to have informed you that I'm neither young nor a gentleman. Now, you two need to turn your asses around right now and place your hands up against the wall.
Oh, come on, Ivora. This lady is a movie star. The least we can do is hear them out. They say they've never been here before in their whole lives.
No, not one single time.
Officer Ivora rolls his eyes in disgust.
Oh, for the love of Jesus Christ.
So what brought you two lovely ladies to this fine establishment this evening?
Well, you see, the thing is, I received a telephone call at my house that my poor, dear cousin Winston might be here. So I came by just to look for him, so that I might offer him a ride back home.
Right. It certainly would be terrible to have a drunk man driving about during the night. What if he ran the car into an innocent family with children? That would be awful.
Sounds to me like these two young ladies were doing our city a public service.
Right.
You've got to be shitting me right now.
Winston begins to stagger on stage, yet unnoticed by the two ladies and the two officers. His eyes are bloodshot and he is clearly very drunk and disheveled. His steps are uneven and he reeks of whiskey.
How the hell are we supposed to know that this so-called cousin of yours even exists? Because he clearly was not here when you showed up, was he? How do you even know this is a real person? Winston just sounds like some bullshit name you made up just now.
Melinda?
Oh my God, Winston, there you are. I'm so happy we found you.
Yeah, I was passed out of the car when I heard a whole bunch of commotion and I wanted to come and check on you.
Excuse me, sir, will you please turn around? You are clearly very drunk and you are now being arrested.
Who the fuck are you?
We are the cops who are arresting you.
What? They let Spix onto the police force now? This country is going directly to the fucking dogs.
At that, Officer Ivora walks directly up to Winston, grabs a hold of his neck, and smashes his face into the wall. Melinda clasps her hands over her mouth as Penny lets out a blood-curdling scream. Blackout. End of scene.
The World Behind the Walls, a 25-page play by Aaron Corona. The cast of characters includes Judy Hannon, a preschool teacher who is scared of the dark and very claustrophobic. She has been working for a while and is starting to quit. She always tries to be positive. Henry Hannon is Judy's husband, who is overprotective of her. The Void is a mysterious voice, a dark, unknown figure dressed in black with a deep, monotone voice and very socially awkward. Baphomet is the person with the goat's head who is fancy. The scene is a preschool and the time is late night on Friday on the month of November. Scene 1, setting, a preschool classroom. The only noise is the static from the lights. The walls are old and yellow, and there is a mini playground with toys all around and a desk with a computer and a phone. At Rise, Judy finishes her paperwork and then decides to organize the room. As she does, she gets a call from her husband.
Hi, Judy.
Henry, thank goodness you called me. I've been organizing for hours here.
Judy puts her phone on speaker as she organizes the class.
I just wanted to make sure you're okay. It's getting crazy out here. Not a single person is outside. Tanks and police are all over the town.
Oh man, I've been thinking about that throughout the entire day, and it's honestly making me stressed.
I don't even want to risk going outside, packing the truck. I wish we could leave this godforsaken town already. About 250 got missing in this town, right?
Yeah, from what I've heard since January. Let's just hope we have enough to do for the next 2 weeks inside the house.
They still haven't even found out why people are missing. The government has got insane by shutting every building and searching. I don't even know if that's going to do much.
I don't know. I guess we just have to stay positive as possible, as basic as that sounds.
You're a one-of-a-kind person, aren't you, Judy? You're either crazy or really brave.
Well, positivity is something that not a lot of people have.
Come on. I'm one of the most positive people out there.
Uh-huh. Anyways, I gotta get going now. I'm almost done.
Sounds good. Drive safe. They're starting to close the roads down and everybody has to be inside in the next 24 hours. I'll try to get us some food before everything goes to shit. But anyways, love you.
Love you too. Bye. I can do it. I'm almost done.
Judy continues to organize the room. She goes back to her desk and starts to go through her papers. She lays on her head on the desk, trying to rest a little, and she doesn't realize she went to sleep. Blackout. End of scene. Scene 2. Lights up. The sounds of the lights are even louder and dimmer, and Judy wakes up and looks at her phone.
Oh no, it's 12:45 a.m. I've been sleeping for a while. I have to go.
Judy gets ready to leave, putting on her coat and gets her keys and purse. She goes to the stage right and almost exits, but looks at the computer and checks the surveillance system and is confused.
I may be sleepy, but I don't recognize any of these hallways. They either look the same or just show a black screen.
She walks back and forth, pacing herself around the room, trying not to have a panic attack. She tries to call her husband and the other people multiple times, but no one answers.
I have to calm down. This isn't going anywhere. I mean, I guess I could stay here for the rest of the night, but that would be creepy. It wouldn't be too bad, would it?
Judy locks the door and sets up the curtain, and then she gets an unexpected call on the school phone and answers.
Hello?
Hey, is this Judy?
Yes. Who is this?
None of that is important. I'm here to help you. Stay where you are. Don't leave. And don't freak out when you see me.
I don't even know who you are. Are you one of the janitors? Quit trying to scare me.
Trust me. Stay there. And as I mentioned, I'm here to help.
Judy hangs up the phone, footsteps, and a door opening is being heard. Judy is confused and she locks the door. A mysterious dark figure slowly enters stage left, and Judy starts to yell, running to the door.
I told you not to freak out.
Are you the person that called me? What are you?
Yes, I don't what I am. I just exist. All I remember is waking up and wandering around to help out somebody in a situation like this.
Situation? What's going on?
Yeah, it's a long explanation, but to give you the gist of it, your surroundings may seem familiar, but it's not what it seems. I don't know what this reality is, or this is just a dream, but all I know is you're not safe here. I need to help you find a way out of this building.
Why should I trust you?
Why don't you just walk out of this room and try to get back on your own? I'll try to help you then.
Why can't I just wait till the morning?
First of all, you'd be in the same reality regardless. Second, by asking questions.
Can I at least get your name?
I don't know what it is.
Can I give you a name?
Sure.
Let's see. Does Void sound good?
That can work. It makes sense, I guess. Thank you for giving me a name. It means a lot. Let's shake on this. I promise I won't fail you.
Yeah.
Boyd pulls out his hand and Judy nervously shakes.
You trust somebody that looks like this. I didn't choose to look like this, much like you chose not to be here.
I'm sorry you feel this way.
It's not a big deal. I know how to deal with it. Let's get prepared. Let's see. Is it okay if we can be silent for a couple of seconds?
Sure.
Oh no, sounds like your heart rate is going pretty fast. We need to calm you down or else whatever is out there can hear you.
Sure.
Do what you can and take time.
Oh, that reminds me.
Judy goes through her desk and takes her bottle of beta blockers, a bottle of water, and unplugs her smartwatch.
How do you feel?
I'm trying not to think too much about it, but other than that, I'm doing decent.
Once we get out of this room, there's no turning back from here. You have to follow me. If you see anything that catches your attention, keep on moving forward. Put your attention on me no matter what.
Got it.
Don't worry, we can make some stops around, I know. Not too far from where we can rest. I don't guarantee much safety if I'm going to be honest. But we can give it a try.
Explaining this to my husband won't be easy.
All I can do is guide you from here on out. There's not much more that I can do.
I guess that's good.
Let's get out of here then.
Got it.
Boyd stands in front of Judy and they make eye contact. They nod their heads and Boyd begins to open the door and the two walk off stage left slowly. Fade, blackout, end of scene 2. Scene 3, a hallway where there is only lockers behind a door. Every hallway looks the same. At Rise, Judy and Boyd are walking down very slowly to stage left, but as they do, they hear a ticking noise.
What's that?
Ignore it. We must keep going. If you can hear them, they can hear you. It's not to think about it too much.
The two exit stage left and enter right 2 times. Judy feels cold and breathes harder. Judy whispers to herself.
It's going to be fine.
Boyd looks at her and ignores her. The ticking is getting louder with the mysterious heavy breathing heard from behind stage right. Judy gets even more nervous and Boyd stops looking behind her and keeps moving forward.
I think it's close to us.
A dark figure enters stage right, walking with the hunchback and its big hands with large fingers and sharp teeth, taking slow steps. Judy looks back and walks backward slowly. Boyd whispers to her.
On the count of 3, we're going to run. 3, 2, 1.
The two start running, exiting stage left. Fade to black. Lights up. The two enter stage right and Judy tries not to breathe hard or to scream.
I recognize this room. We'll be safe in this one for a while. I'll be standing outside just in case I notice anything. You rest here. We still got a long way to go.
Wait, can you please come with me?
I promise you, you'll be fine there. I'll check with you in a bit.
Promise?
I promise.
Lights fade, blackout. Scene 4, setting a classroom where only the light is the moonlight. At Rise, Judy is sitting at a table crying and begins to have a panic attack.
I don't know if this is real. This can't be real. Strange.
Judy goes up to the teacher's desk and looks at the name tag and there's nothing. She starts to look at the window.
I can't see anything out there.
I'm sorry that you're going through this. I really am.
I don't know what's going on anymore. You can't ignore me. This is serious.
I was scared too.
That doesn't make any sense. Aren't you one of them, or at least familiar with them?
As I mentioned, I don't know. I just came into existence.
You even know where we are going?
Yeah, if there's one thing I know, it's that. But my memory is kind of... You're a teacher, right?
Yes.
From what I can tell in your world, some people enjoy their lives, especially as a kid. I wish I grew up much like everybody else out there. Everything around here is familiar to me, like I've been through this. I somehow have control over myself, unlike what you saw out there. It just happens.
Well, we can't choose how things are going to be. It's unfortunate. If you're familiar with the place, why don't you just leave?
I don't think people would be comfortable seeing like this. It really says something about that. But it's all right. No one deserves to be here. That's why I want to help out others.
I don't know what we're going through, but I trust you and thank you for taking me this far.
I appreciate it.
Judy notices some clothes on a chair.
This is a police uniform.
They probably got stuck here too. Seems pretty recent since the blood isn't dry.
Judy takes the gun from the uniform.
Yeah, I'm done asking questions about this place.
Lights out, fade to black. Scene, setting, a big elevator. At Rise, Void and Judy enter stage right onto a hallway that has an elevator. Lights up.
I don't remember the elevator being here, and I know this hallway was longer.
Well, this is the only way.
Void presses the button for them to go down, and Judy checks her gun.
Never was really a gun person, never saw the point of them till now.
There's a long pause until the elevator screeches, making them both jump.
As long as we're going, we're good.
Judy leans back into the wall, yawning, and then part of the wall begins to grab her shoulder. Judy screams, and the Void looks back at the arm is gone.
What happened?
I just felt something grab my shoulder.
There's a silence as the elevator screeches again and lights flicker.
Help! Help! I can't be here any longer. We have to go.
We can't do anything.
I can't.
The walls start to close in and Judy yells.
Stop! Stop!
The elevator stops and goes back to normal. Judy almost passes out and the Void picks her up.
Are you good?
Yeah.
The elevator makes a ding and the lights fade. Blackout. Scene 5. The setting is a dark room with a table where ballroom music is playing, with the candle being the only source of light. At Rise, Baphomet is sitting smoking a cigar and looking at his candle. Void and Judy walk into stage left.
Ah, I didn't expect guests here. Nobody makes it this far.
Who are you?
Baphomet. I usually wait till somebody makes it here, just have a casual conversation. I've been needing friends for a while. Without this music, I wouldn't be satisfied. Those monsters out there are always acting very rude or scared. I see you made a friend along the way. Did you train it? So how's your journey been? I know those holidays are too much pish posh for me.
How can you be so casual about this? We're in a dangerous situation.
Well, don't be so sassy on me, madame. Be grateful that you made it this far. What's the matter? Both of you seem confused.
Listen, sir, we've been through some stuff recently. Is it okay if you can tell us how to leave this place?
Why don't you have a seat and relax? Now, why do you want to leave it? It's a very dark world out here. Does it really make that much of a difference? Can't do a lot around here. You can't explore the never-ending hallways and read millions of books around here. Maybe be friends with the monsters out there.
Listen, it's bad out there, but I know here is not for me. I miss everybody out there like my husband, and I plan on moving out. I can't be here anymore.
How has that marriage been going?
It's been going good.
Are you sure? I don't think so.
Why are you even asking me this?
You see, Judy, a lot of people in this society doesn't want to be lonely. They usually cling on to the next person so that they won't feel that way. Be alone can be a curse or a gift, but the biggest curse is being with someone you think you like, being trapped with somebody that you can't even have fun with. Everything has to look perfect over, but it's true. But it isn't the truth. This reality is where all the imperfections of your world are left, sort of like a glitch. This is some sort of matrix. What a ridiculous thing to call. But either way, your world has a standard built that really never existed. Here, there are no rules, and a lot can be defied over here. Look at what's going on out there. Your government is shutting things down. They're taking control over your people. We won't allow that here. Well, not me.
What is wrong with you? I would never want to be back in here ever again in this hellhole. Does that mean that you've been dragging people in here?
Not me. That requires effort. It usually happens random at different areas, not just this town. But anyway, back to that husband of yours.
Can we stop talking about him?
Indeed. I don't want to argue with you anymore.
I know you want me to stay, but I can't. I have a life out there. All these people trapped here have one too. Is it even possible to save all of them?
I don't know. I've never seen them. I've never seen them until you. Who knows what else is out there? Is it anything good? Probably not for you. When we go looking back, you find yourself lost. This has been going on for many years, probably since the world has been created. So there's no point. That being said, you do come back and always visit here.
Thank you.
The two almost exit stage.
Wait, before you go, something doesn't feel right.
What are you talking about?
What I've been hearing so far is that this town has been seeing a surge of people missing, right?
Yeah, about 250.
That's strange even for me. It's not common to end up here.
I'm confused.
Me too, but that's something I want you to keep in mind. But in the meantime, I believe these items can help you.
Baphomet gives Judy a knife and a fire axe.
Thank you.
Safe travels.
Lights out. Fade to black.
Do Come On by Hannah Eubanks. Cast of characters: Joey, a woman in her early 20s, watches too many rom-coms. Steph, a woman in her early 20s, the voice of reason. Scene: a dorm room shared by two college students in their 20s, the kind of place that smells of leftover pizza and dirty socks. Time: the present is evening. Setting: you're inside a dorm of these two 20-year-olds. These two women have grown in comfortably with each other, and it shows in a way that they leave their stuff around. They have become best friends and becoming roommates. Arise, Steph is working in the living room on their laptop. Homework is the day before Thanksgiving break, and Steph is in crunch mode. Lights up. Joey bursts in the room laughing and carrying a handful of groceries. Steph is a little annoyed by Joey's loud entrance, but continues to work.
Okay. Top 3 places to cry. 3, 2, 1, shower, car, grocery store. Yes, in the grocery store. There's something comforting about walking around a grocery store crying. Sure, people look at you funny.
Joey,
But they don't know you. So it's more likely you'll never be asked what's wrong. They'll just let you cry. They see you through. They see you, and that's the point.
please, I have 2 papers due before we leave for break.
Until there's someone like Amy, the someone who sees you crying by the rutabaga and stops, the someone who smells of lavender or vanilla, the someone who puts a dainty pink painted hand on your shoulder and looks into your eyes with the comforting honey of theirs, the one you could stay with and cry with in the produce. The one that you want to care about too.
Dude, you saw this girl for like what, 5 minutes, and you're in love with her?
You didn't see the way she looked at me. She smelled so good and her hair looked so soft.
She was probably looking at you that way because a lunatic was crying next to the radishes.
They were rutabagas.
Huh?
They were rutabagas.
Potato, potato.
Not potato, radishes and rutabagas.
Dude, are you seriously going to argue with me about vegetables right now?
This isn't about vegetables. This is about love.
Come on, you are so full of shit. The only thing you know about love is from 13 going on 30 and never been kissed.
1, those are classics. 2, you fall asleep every time I try to show them to you. We make it to her wanting to be 30, flirty, and thriving, and you're conked out with Dorito dust on your fingers.
Because that's not love, dude. That's just some bullshit that was made up to satisfy the ideals of the cult of love. Ideals that originated in the 13th century. The idiots like you keep alive.
Steph, what do you even know? All you do is shut people down. No one is ever good enough for you. I don't get it.
Well, at least I'm not throwing myself out there, legs wide fucking open, bro. Like, Oh my God, she let me cry on her shoulder next to radishes. Meh, 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 meh.
Rutabagas.
Dude, I don't fucking care what kind of vegetable it was.
When did you become so fucking bitter?
Yeah, I might be bitter, but I'm realistic. You just barge in here when I'm obviously busy, but no, it has to be all about what's happening with Joey. You know, if I fail, I'm going to blame you, and you're stupid.
You aren't even that. You are so full of hate and loathing that the idea of anyone loving you seems so completely impossible because you can't even love yourself. And I'm sorry. I thought my friend would want to hear about my day.
What kind of Psycho 101 bullshit was that? You want some real psycho? Well, here you fucking go. You are embarrassingly obsessed with these movies that don't even portray real life. You use them as a tool to cope with your parents' divorce that happened when you were 12. You cry in the grocery store on purpose and hopes you meet your happily ever after to fulfill the sick fucking fantasy of yours. Love isn't real. Don't believe me? Go ask your fucking parents. I No, Joy. Come on, I didn't mean it.
What? What did you mean then, Joey? I told you that because I thought I could trust you. But then you use it against me? Ouch.
I wasn't trying to hurt you. I don't know what's wrong with me. It just came out.
Joey starts gathering the last of her things and shoving them into a sports duffel without rhyme or reason.
Look, dude, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I know you're trusting me with I'm sorry.
No, you don't get to say you're sorry. I know why I am the way I am, and I know why I do the things I do. You're right. It's how I cope. Because it's really fucking hurt, dude. Your parents have been together for what, ever? Mine, they seemed so in love, and it seemed like one day it was mom's for Thanksgiving and dad's for Christmas. So yeah, I watch these dumb movies and I cry in the grocery store because it's the only way I feel like what I went through is valid. That I can escape to a cinematic moment and leave my own brain for an hour or two. Do I actually love the girl who comforted me with her lavender smells? Dude, no. But I love that maybe one day I could. That one day we could be at our wedding thanking God for rutabagas. Will that ever happen? Not likely. You really hurt me.
I don't want you to leave. I you have to understand where I'm coming from, then, okay? I listen to these stories constantly and it drives me crazy that you do that to yourself. Why would you put yourself through that when I'm literally right here for you?
Obviously, you're not.
I'm sorry, okay? I fucked up.
This wasn't just a fuck up. That was cruel. I felt like you've been saving it. No one just blurts something like that out unless they've been thinking about it.
Joey, I understand and I really am so sorry. I really don't want to hurt you, and you can trust me. I just get jealous. I guess that you can be so open and outward with your emotions, and I am literally like a freaking robot. I don't want to lose you. I can't lose you.
You aren't a robot, Beth. I'm not breaking up our friendship. I just need space. I need a break from you. And maybe I need to do a little search for some healthier coping mechanisms. It's not forever. I just can't right now.
Oh, okay.
I'll see you after Thanksgiving break. I'll text you.
Steph watches her go. She's left in the dorm alone. She sits on the couch staring at a turn-off TV at her own reflection.
Why do you always have to ruin things for yourself?
She turns on TV, puts on a rom-com, and closes the previously open laptop. She grabs a bag of Doritos, lays down, cuddling it as she snacks. She starts to cry, but it does not stop her from watching and eating.
Hey, sorry, I forgot my charge.
Hey, I hope it's okay that I borrowed this. I'm so sorry, Joey. It's just hard to watch you try to find love everywhere, where it might be in the one place you never thought to look. Maybe that person isn't good enough for you, though. They smell more like Doritos than lavender, and they hurt you.
Joey analyzes the situation. Joey walks over, moves the Doritos, takes their place. The two watch together in silence. Blackout, end of play.
Who's to Blame? An American Tale by Jay Ryan. Cast of characters: Doris Wagner, a housewife married to George. George Wagner, an ex-Marine. Lewis Mickelson, pharmacist. Betty Mickelson, a housewife married to Lewis. News anchor, a male voice on the radio. Scene, a darkened fallout shelter with boxes of canned goods and other survival equipment. Time, September 12th, 1962, 1 year after JFK suggested families build fallout shelters. Scene 1, setting, a darkened fallout shelter with boxes of canned goods, shelves full of survival gear, a bed, radio, flashlights, cooking stove, and 2 chairs. Doris and George have just heard the news that a nuclear attack is imminent and have locked themselves in the shelter.
George, I'm scared. What are we going to do? What about the Michelsons? Shouldn't we have let them in? Oh, they must be devastated, not having the money to build their own shelter. Oh, George, how can we live with ourselves?
Would you please shut up for a minute, huh? The whole world is going to hell out there, and all you can think about is the Michelsons, I tell ya.
It's not too late. We can still let them in. To think of poor Betty and Lewis right next door, George. Right next door. I can't even say it.
Will you pipe down, eh? We gotta go over the checklist and make sure we haven't forgotten anything. There's a lot to do and we can't waste time doing it.
You've already been over the checklist until the paper's worn through. There's nothing we have to do now except sit on our hands. I wonder what they're doing right now. Probably going out of their minds is what.
Will you get off it already? I told you there's only enough living space comfortably for 2 people down here, you and me.
I'm not like you, George. I can't just shut people out because I don't like the color they painted their garage door. Personally, I didn't see anything wrong with it being painted red. I don't know why you have to make such a fuss about everything. It was none of our business anyway.
Red, Doris, he painted it red, and we all know what that means. Don't be so ignorant. I am a United States Marine, for Christ's sake, and I have my standards and my morals. I didn't fight in that war to be buddying up with a commie.
The Michelsons aren't commies.
Oh yeah, you got proof or something?
Red happens to be Betty's favorite color is all. That's all it is. And so what? Are we suddenly the judge and jury of who lives or doesn't because they rubbed you the wrong way?
Oh, here we go again, bleeding heart. You know what your problem is? You just can't see that there are different kinds of people in the world. Proud, true blue Americans, and them.
Well, Lewis wasn't too commie for you to take with you on your fishing trip last month, or drink a beer in the garage with, or have a poker night with. He was all right in your books. He was just another one of the guys, a pal. And you raved about how good Betty's pumpkin pie was at Thanksgiving last year.
Oh, here we go again with the damn pumpkin pie. Just like a woman to hold a simple compliment against her husband for the rest of his life.
I would love a piece of her pie right now. The Michelsons were our friends. Now there's no one left to be friends with.
I'm sorry, but now is not the time for us to be fighting. But honey, if we let everyone down here with us, we wouldn't have enough for ourselves. You get that, don't you? We were all given time to prepare for this, and I can't help that they didn't take theirs as seriously as we did.
It's not everyone, George, and what does it say about our humanity by denying them the right to live? They could have brought their own supplies, you know. What would it hurt if we had more company down here than just the 2 of us?
Oh, I see. I'm not good enough company for you. Is that it? I can't believe we are even having this discussion right now. We could be one of the only survivors in the whole world, and here we are fighting. Look, if you feel so bad for them, then why don't you go join them, eh? And don't talk to me about humanity.
Broken by Thomas Rosado. Cast characters: Gideonus, a precocious pure white cockatoo from the Solomon Islands. Toby, a 27-year-old rail-thin man with an overabundance of boyish qualities. Alice, a 20-year-old ex-ballerina who cannot seem to shed her upper-class Greenwich roots. Narrator, an ominous voice. Miranda, a 30-something therapist that always seems on edge. She doesn't have the confidence or ability to help her clients. Scene: a spacious apartment overlooking on the river, overlooking the sea beyond. Time: 1:17 on a Monday evening, mid December 2016. C1 setting: we find ourselves in the living room of a spacious, airy flat. The wooden floors are brand new and gleaming light and light air flooding the room through three large basement windows. There are band prints on the walls and charcoal portraits of the inhabitants hung side by side on the wall. One of a man, a woman, and the last of a cheery cockatoo. At rise, Toby is lying on the couch while Gaines absentmindedly fusses with Toby's hair. The room is quiet, and the two seem to contain each other's company.
Are you going to get up?
Let's just enjoy this breeze a little while longer.
It is afternoon already.
Did you have something you were dying to do?
Well, we can take a walk.
Maybe later.
It is so nice outside, though.
Later, I promise. Alice, hi you two, I'm home.
Hi, you two, I'm home.
Little G.
Little G.
Mama.
I brought home swordfish from the fish market uptown, and cantaloupe, watermelon, and 5 crickets for you, Guinness.
I can eat meat too.
You can have a few nibbles, Guinness. I don't want you getting sick.
That was when I ate baked clams. Ugh.
We will see. What have you two been up to all day?
It's only afternoon.
I know, I'm just wondering.
We've been talking about what I told you a few days ago.
We can't move. We cannot move right now.
Not sure if you knew this, but we can move whenever the fuck we feel like. You were...
We can't. What have I told you already? What about my business?
The business idea I came up with for you, the business I helped you create, you can do that anywhere. There are people.
We don't have the money. What are you doing now?
Hold on. Is this enough?
Toby comes back into the room with 2 bundles of cash wrapped up in rubber bands. Toby throws the bundles of money at Alice. Alice fumbles the bundles, but still manages to catch them.
Fuck. You know...
What? I always told you money is not a problem. I told you you can't get that through your head. I don't know why you can't see you don't need to work every day of your life. How do they say it? Get ahead?
How much is this?
$50K. There is more in the wall.
I didn't realize we had this much.
Well, I didn't tell you because you want a new car every 2 years. And that is just fucking stupid. I've had my Jeep for 8 years now, and you somehow make sure you get a new car every 30 months. Oh, it got flooded. Oh, someone lightly tapped my Cabrio on the intersection. Oh, I need a bigger car since we're having babies.
I needed.
We live in a fucking city. You need what? I don't need a car either. I can take the train when I decide to go to work. If I rent a car, I can rent one if I really need it. You can rent a car if you need it too.
I'm not moving.
Well, then I am. Guinness and I are leaving.
Guinness
You,
starts to shake.
you are not taking him with you.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I am.
I'm going out.
See you later. If we're gone when you come back, don't write.
Alice exits stage right, opening the door. She slams it on her way out.
Toby didn't leave that night, but over the next few weeks, he slowly planned his move. He moved much of his belongings to a storage unit under the guise of decluttering until his clothes and camera gear were left over. About an hour before Alice was due home one night in early January, he loaded his clothes, gear, and Guinness into his Jeep and drove to San Francisco. He left Alice a note telling her he needed to get healthy, and along with the note, he left her money at he had thrown at her that day.
Blackout, end of scene. Scene 2, setting. We find ourselves in a spacious therapist office with lightly accented colors and an abnormally large glass desk with a modern white paneled metal framed chair behind it and a lonely MacBook atop it. A grand piano sits in a lonely corner, while a flower pattern overstuffed chair is at the room's center with a similarly patterned sofa directly in front of it. The door is closed and 2 colonial windows are cracked open all the way to the ceiling. At Rise, Toby sits on the couch with clenched hands, looking furtively towards Miranda while she fondles her new necklace. Miranda sits easily in her comfy chair, staring blankly at Toby. The room suddenly goes black, with only a sleepy MacBook screen visible along with flickering street lamps beyond the window panes. Within the blackout, we hear a scream.
Ah!
Toby jumps at the noise and almost instantaneously starts to shiver as though cold. He seems on the verge of tears.
I,
It's okay, Toby. There have been blackouts all month.
but
It's okay, Toby.
2 loud cracks ring out. The saturated silence makes them sound as though they might be bombs, though they are most likely gunshots. Toby curls himself into a ball next to the sofa and begins to rock back and forth.
Toby, it's okay.
Miranda crosses her office from her chair and crouches next to Toby.
Toby. Toby. Toby.
I'm okay.
Hands Toby a few tissues while she helps him sit up.
Here,
Thank you.
take a breath, Toby. When you are ready, I want you to tell me about what happened with Alice.
Now? You told me we wouldn't talk about that stuff. I thought it made you uncomfortable.
Well, I think it's time.
You think it's time? You think? What does that even mean? We've been sitting here for 2 years and you think it's time now? All we do is talk about bullshit, which is fine because it helps a little bit. But now, out of the blue, you want me to tell me about how Alice and I killed a baby?
I,
You what?
I,
I'm done. I should have left months ago, but fuck this. I'm done.
Toby gets up and rushes out of the office. Blackout, end of scene. Scene 3. We find ourselves in a messy living room. Books and writing pads are piled all over. The only redeeming feature of the room is a beautiful, upright, and worn leather couch. Heavy curtains are drawn on the room's one window. At Rise, a pure white cockatoo sits on a small wooden table center stage as there is a sound of locks. We hear a door open and shut with multiple locks bolted afterwards. Toby enters stage left.
Guinness, Guinness, Guinness.
Toby?
Guinness?
Toby, 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 Toby!
Guinness is ruffling his feathers, dancing in excitement.
How were you today, little G?
Frightening. Absolutely I'm just kidding.
Guinness is smiling as only a cockatoo can.
That fucking waste of space next door is really getting on my nerves, though. Can you kidnap it and throw it in the river?
Toby walks over to Guinness and gives a scratch on the head as he takes a seat on the couch near where Guinness is standing.
Guinness.
Why cats were even put on this earth?
I'll see what I can do.
You say that every time.
Well,
Guinness cuts him off.
Well, nothing. If you're too pussy to do it, then let me outside this godforsaken place. I'll fly over and ravage that cocksucker's eyes so he won't know which way is up. He is always leering at me. It just isn't right, you know? Ground dwellers should know their place. I can fucking fly. Easily superior, I am. Besides you, Dad. Besides you, of course. Smartest human I know.
I'm the only one you've seen in years.
True, but...
What's on TV?
I was watching this fucked up movie about rats in Manhattan. This rat is a researcher, can tell what neighborhood they belong to, those specific protein markers. Even the rats are neighborhood specific.
You know how big rats are, right?
I know, but they just look so tasty. I know they're big, but damn, they look so fine.
Damn, Guinness, maybe you'll catch one day. Maybe. I hope you do.
Is everything okay?
Toby gets up and walks to the window where he peeks beyond the curtain.
Toby starts fondling his hair, searching for that perfect strand, pulling on it with abandon and placing it gently in his mouth, enveloping its length slowly, then taking a big gulp.
I mean, well, no, I'm not going to try again.
No, please, call the number.
Fine.
Toby takes his phone out of his pocket and searches. He puts it on speaker.
For veterans, press 1. For everyone else.
Toby hangs up.
Call back, please.
Toby picks up his phone and...
For veterans, press 1. For everyone else.
Toby hangs up.
Toby starts fondling his hair and...
I figured something out, little G.
What? I hope.
Phyllis, pills, they're worthless.
Yes,
Toby cuts Guinness off.
What I'm saying is they don't work. I tried them. Sheila tried them. That girl I met last year, she tried them. Emily tried them. Everyone is still alive. There should be a disclaimer on the bottle. Those won't kill you, dummy. They will embarrass you, though, and they will cause you pain. They will put you in the hospital with a bunch of schizophrenic, bipolar fucking nut jobs.
better to live anyway.
Is it?
Isn't it?
I don't know.
I love you.
I love you too, but...
Toby starts fondling his hair and...
I have a plan, little G. I didn't tell you, but a couple years back, I found a spot on the bridge. There's a gate, but I think I can pick the lock. And from there, I can climb out onto a beam. And I'll finally have done it. All of this nothingness will be over. I'm worried about the news and all of those people who put me down over the years, but I guess who cares about them? I'll be gone.
I miss Mom.
I do too. I do too.
Guinness flies onto Toby's shoulder and starts nibbling on his ear. Blackout. End of play.
Who's to Blame? An American Tale by Jay Ryan. Cast of characters. Doris Wagner, a housewife married to George. George Wagner, an ex-Marine. Lewis Mickelson, pharmacist. Betty Mickelson, a housewife married to Lewis. News anchor, a male voice on the radio. Scene, a darkened fallout shelter with boxes of canned goods and other survival equipment. Time, September 12th, 1962, 1 year after JFK suggested families build fallout shelters. Scene 1, setting, a darkened fallout shelter with boxes of canned goods, shelves full of survival gear, a bed, radio, flashlights, cooking stove, and 2 chairs. Doris and George have just heard the news that a nuclear attack is imminent and have locked themselves in the shelter.
George, I'm scared. What are we going to do? What about the Michelsons? Shouldn't we have let them in? Oh, they must be devastated, not having the money to build their own shelter. Oh, George, how can we live with ourselves?
Would you please shut up for a minute, huh? The whole world is going to hell out there, and all you can think about is the Michelsons, I tell ya.
It's not too late. We can still let them in. To think of poor Betty and Louis right next door, George. Right next door. I can't even say it.
Will you pipe down, eh? We gotta go over the checklist and make sure we haven't forgotten anything. There's a lot to do and we can't waste time doing it.
You've already been over the checklist until the paper's worn through. There's nothing we have to do now except sit on our hands. I wonder what they're doing right now. Probably going out of their minds is what.
Will you get off it already? I told you there's only enough living space comfortably for 2 people down here, you and me.
I'm not like you, George. I can't just shut people out because I don't like the color they painted their garage door. Personally, I didn't see anything wrong with it being painted red. I don't know why you have to make such a fuss about everything. It was none of our business anyway.
Red, Doris, he painted it red, and we all know what that means. Don't be so ignorant. I am a United States Marine, for Christ's sake, and I have my standards and my morals. I didn't fight in that war to be buddying up with a commie.
The Michelsons aren't commies.
Oh yeah, you got proof or something?
Red happens to be Betty's favorite color is all. That's all it is. And so what? Are we suddenly the judge and jury of who lives or doesn't because they rubbed you the wrong way?
Oh, here we go again, bleeding heart. You know what your problem is? You just can't see that there are different kinds of people in the world. Proud, true blue Americans, and them.
Well, Louis wasn't too commie for you to take with you on your fishing trip last month, or drink a beer in the garage with, or have a poker night with. He was all right in your books. He was just another one of the guys, a pal. And you raved about how good Betty's pumpkin pie was at Thanksgiving last year.
Oh, here we go again with the damn pumpkin pie. Just like a woman to hold a simple compliment against her husband for the rest of his life.
I would love a piece of her pie right now. The Michelsons were our friends. Now there's no one left to be friends with.
I'm sorry, but now is not the time for us to be fighting. But honey, if we let everyone down here with us, we wouldn't have enough for ourselves. You get that, don't you? We were all given time to prepare for this, and I can't help that they didn't take theirs as seriously as we did.
It's not everyone, George, and what does it say about our humanity by denying them the right to live? They could have brought their own supplies, you know. What would it hurt if we had more company down here than just the 2 of us?
Oh, I see. I'm not good enough company for you. Is that it? I can't believe we are even having this discussion right now. We could be one of the only survivors in the whole world, and here we are fighting. Look, if you feel so bad for them, then why don't you go join them, eh? And don't talk to me about humanity. I've seen more of what humanity can do than you or the Michelsons could ever even imagine.
Doris turns on the radio and is messing with the dial.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just got a word from the capital that the missiles are.
We have enough canned food to survive down here for a whole year. You're lucky you have a husband like me who is always prepared and ready for anything the world tries to hit him with.
No, we don't.
Don't what?
Have enough to survive.
And why the hell not?
Because I forgot to grab the can opener.
You forgot what?
I forgot the can opener. Oh, George, in all the communication, all the commotion, I didn't grab it. I just didn't grab it. It's sitting on the counter by the sink.
That's what I get for letting a mindless woman help me. Yup, that's what I get. It's a good thing you weren't with us during the war. We probably wouldn't have made it back.
Where are you going?
Now, thanks to you, I have to go back into the house and retrieve the damn thing. Or would you like to sit down here and starve to death?
George, please don't go. Don't leave me down here all alone. I'll figure something else out. Maybe we have a knife or something we can use to pry the lids off.
Will you let go of me? The longer we're down here arguing, the less chance I have of making it back.
George leaves the shelter. Doris is pacing and looking at her watch when a knock comes on the door.
Betty, Lewis, come inside quickly.
Wasn't sure you were going to open the door for us or not.
You're my best friends. Of course I would let you in.
What about George?
He's just going to have to understand. There's nothing else to it.
Hope you're right, but I have a feeling he's not going to be too happy that we're here.
I couldn't leave you out there. I just couldn't.
Where's George anyway?
He had to run back inside the house. Didn't you see him?
No, we didn't see him anywhere.
Come on, sit down. I'm sure he'll be back soon.
I found it, honey. No use worrying now.
George, don't be mad. I just couldn't say no to them.
Well, now you've got some nerve. Waited until I left to come sneaking in here like a dirty rat. Get out right now.
George, please, we can't do this to them.
Please, George, please don't make us go.
You're leaving even if I have to carry you out myself.
The radio starts to sputter.
What was that? What was he saying, George?
This is it. It's over for us, isn't it?
Everybody just calm down. Doris, hand me that radio.
Let me see it. I used to have an old ham radio I tinkered with.
You think I'm just going to hand over the only line we have to the outside world to a commie? Forget it.
Commie? Did you just call me a commie?
Yeah, why else would a true-blood American paint their garage door red if they didn't want the whole world to know whose side they're really on?
Now you just hold on a minute, Buster. I am not a communist. I'm just an American, as American as you are, pal. I have just as much right to be here, especially since I pay for half the shelter. Now I know why you could talk to me. You mean like we have been neighbors for the past 5 years? Can't believe that you would be so ignorant over a garage door. You're going to let me in, were you? You're just going to just let Betty and I die out there.
I tried to reason with him. I didn't want to let you die.
What do you mean you paid for half of this shelter?
Half? He didn't pay for half.
You're going to let us die. Is that what it means to be an American hero?
Yeah, it gives me an edge on judging the character of my fellow Americans. I couldn't let a traitor into a fallout shelter. It just wouldn't be right.
You know what I think? I think we ought to kick you out.
Go ahead and try it. Come on. Everybody just be...
The men start fighting. A loud boom is heard. Lights go out and the women scream. Then the generator kicks in.
Everybody just be quiet.
The only one shouting is you, George.
Well, I'm bleeding. Are you happy now?
What is wrong with you people? The whole world has just been annihilated and all you can do is bicker. I should have stayed out there.
Can I look at the radio now that the world may have just gone to hell? Or am I still too commie for you?
Go ahead. It's a free country. Well, it used to be.
Oh, George, I wish you wouldn't talk like that. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe we are imagining it as worse than it really is. Maybe you should go outside and take a look.
Are you crazy? The radiation out there would cook you in an instant. And if you open that door, it'll get us too. No one is going anywhere.
Just think of all the people who... Oh, I couldn't even begin to imagine it.
Do you really want to see it though? At least if you're just imagining it, you can stop. But if you saw it in real life, you would never get that out of your head.
It's just being down in a hole waiting to either live or die might be worse than being up there and knowing you're dead already or going to. At least you would know. Down here, we don't know anything.
Well, if I could get this radio to work, we might know something.
I don't get it. If the nuke just hit the city, how is there anyone left to be broadcasting? Betty's right. If we had a window, we could at least go and see what's going on up there. I should have thought about putting in a periscope, but I'm a Marine, not a swab.
Really makes you think, doesn't it?
Think about what?
Everything you took for granted that's now gone. Everything you didn't do that you said you couldn't afford or were going to do when you retired someday, waiting to have children until it was too late, and now it really is. Not buying the black polka dot dress because you didn't have anywhere to wear it to. I should have bought it and wore it to do housework for all it matters now.
I had a fight with Mrs. Hollingsworth over the price of her tomatoes last week. I should have just given her the extra nickel. Who knows how long it will be until we can grow tomatoes again. I was making my grandmother's secret spaghetti sauce from the old country. She kept taking all her recipes. She kept all her recipes secret from everyone. I guess she seen some potential in my cooking.
George still raves about your pie. It makes me a little jealous, honestly.
Here we are, sitting on the edge of our death and talking about pie. Life sure is a funny thing.
Hey, I think I got something.
Ladies and gent, please don't panic.
I thought you said you knew how to fix that. You're about as useless as...
Please, you know how much I hate that saying.
A man should know what he is.
You know, you just about be all George B. Nelson of the United States Marine Corps. I just found out what the P stands for. Pathetic.
Yeah, and you're about as useful as the tips on a boar hog. There it is. I said it, Doris, and I don't care to know if you liked it or not.
Didn't like it.
I believe you're president when...
It must not have hit the Capitol. There must still be people alive.
No, it hit. You can count on it. The government has had a long time to prepare for this. They're probably broadcasting out of their own bunkers somewhere that no one knows about.
No one knows.
And what do you mean by that?
Just that there is no way that nobody knows about a secret government bunker. Just because we don't know about it doesn't prove anything.
What do you know, Louis?
I don't know anything. I'm just speculating.
Are you involved? Did you know that this was going to happen?
George, you're talking like a crazy person right now.
Answer my question, or you and your little wifey are going out there pronto.
No, George, you know any of this was going to happen. I already told you I'm not coming. God damn it.
Don't take the name of my God in vain in my bunker.
Your God? Let me just tell you something. You can't try and claim ownership of a bunker I pay half for, but you can't claim ownership of God, pal. My father was a pastor for our church. Even he'd never claim ownership of God. You got some screws loose in your belfry, my friend.
Don't call me your friend.
It's called sarcasm, but I wouldn't expect a jarhead like you to understand the complexities and subtle nuances of the English language when at best, all you can do is grunt and pound your chest.
Please, everyone just stop talking for 2 minutes. I'm getting a splitting headache. I think we need to stop and consider our situation instead of fighting like a bunch of, well, I don't know, crazy people stuck in a hole together and try to work as friends. You know, we used to be that once, friends. Now, here we are trapped together for what could be a very long time, and all we seem to want to do is complain and bicker and punch each other in the mouth. I could interrogate Louis as to why he went behind my back to pay for half of this thing. I could really sock it to George for trying to keep us out, but I don't even want to consider the implications of such actions. The way I see it, if we can't stop all this nonsense, then we might as well just open that door and say, to hell with it all.
You're right, Betty. I can be pig-headed jerk sometimes, and now shouldn't be the time. Louis, even if you're a commie, I guess it doesn't matter much down here.
George, I forgive you for not inviting us in and being okay with letting us die in a horrible death. I'm not coming, just for the record.
There comes a knock on their bunker door.
Who could be knocking?
I don't know, but we're not opening it.
For the first time down here, I agree with you.
Louis, I can't believe that you just said that. What if it's someone who desperately needs our help? You're going to just turn them away? Well, I'm not that cold. I'm going to let them in.
If you open that door, then we're all dead.
Try and stop me.
Betty goes for the door and George grabs her, and in their struggle, he breaks her neck.
What have you done, Betty?
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the President and KRRP, what you have just experienced was a drill and only a drill. It is our hope that you and your family were able to find an adequate shelter and found yourselves to be prepared in case this was an actual emergency. We commend you on your own preparedness, but apologize for any stress this drill may have caused. As a side note, please be informed that the electric company has just informed us that for those of you living in South Hannity Street, the explosion you heard was from a transformer blowing up, leaving many of you without power. City workers will be coming by door to notify you how long you can expect to be without power.
Blackout, end of play.
The Other Side, a long play by William Walker. The cast, Rookie/Observation. The newest member to the organization looks over any new unknown data that need a closer look. Paperwork, the ultimate evil to all beings. Truth, keeper of the actual, never-changing timeline. Life, watches over all life in the world, from the moss to the people. Nature, keeps track of the changes in the world itself, from climate to landscapes, as well as the elements. Death, sends souls to their designated locations. Divine, the one in charge of the unit, keeps track of deities that are created in each world. Scene 2, setting, Earth Station. Time, the emergence of life on Earth. Curtain rises. Setting, observation room. Scene, Rookie is sitting in front of the computer. Mixture of typing and clicking can be heard.
Okay, now that Earth is starting to show signs of life, and I'm supposed to be finding myself, what exactly?
A loud beeping comes from the computer. Rookie turns it off.
I shouldn't have clicked that again.
Life enters the room.
Hey, Ricky, I see you are living up to your title.
Rookie turns around, a thinking look on his face.
Rookie mistakes.
Rookie smacks the face with the palm of a hand.
So how's the research coming along?
Rookie turns toward the computer.
Well, I'm waiting for the computer to do a comparison to some data that are available at HQ.
Life walks towards Rookie, looks over his shoulder.
Any special reason why?
Well, after spending a week finding nothing on Earth, I asked Truth what my next should be, and all that was said is to broaden the horizons.
Life looks towards Rookie.
Well, it's one of the first things that all MW departments learned, is that we are the ones that are building the truth. All they are responsible for is keeping everything organized.
Life turns toward the computer.
How many times did you have to restart your research?
After I made the main computer freeze for the third time after clicking the wrong program, I'm just glad that the backups kept working every time I messed up.
You got that right. So was there something else that made you want to click with HQ when it came to the data?
Well, the data I got from both you and nature didn't come up with anything that seems to be from Earth itself. And with all of those showers of space debris.
We want to see if any of them have brought something extra to spark changes to the planet itself.
Exactly, although I kept pursuing that laugh in order to fill out the paperwork needed.
Oh yeah, we are all going through that. If one of us gets stuck somewhere, there will be that laugh that gets louder if you go the wrong way, and it becomes quieter when you go the right way. It's just something we've learned to get used to.
Is that for you?
Death's voice can be heard.
Damn it, I need to order more equipment.
No, my turn hasn't come yet.
One question. Is it true that you and Death don't get along?
It's in some stations, yes. An agent from the live department and the death department do have some form of hatred for each other. Some places they learn to tolerate each other enough to work together. And then there are places like this where we learn to get along.
Oh, my results showed up.
Both release a small gasp.
It's not possible.
Blackout. Curtain drops. Setting. Break room. On the back wall is a monitor with a map of an ocean with small clumps of land in it. On the counter, a snack station, consisting of a hot water container and 2 coffee makers along the wall. Next to them sit a variety of baked goods. On one side are a stack of cups, a pile of napkins, and a condiment station. Curtain rises. Scene. Divine is standing behind the table, facing the monitor. Rookie, Truth, Life, Death, and Nature are sitting around the table, each one with food in front of them. A wastebasket to the side.
Okay, let us begin this meeting. I know not to expect too much since this world is just beginning, but give me what you have now.
Divine turns around. Death stands up. Oh, Death, you have to unmute.
Well, after the recent space shower, I had to order more equipment to deal with the transfer to the afterlife.
Divine gives a nod.
Did you have to upgrade anything?
Not right now. The upgrades won't start until some of the life forms start to grow to a certain size.
Death sits down. Nature stands up.
That last shower brought in meteors big enough to cause a catalyst of changes to the Earth.
Such as?
It started when the landmass started to emerge from the water. It seems that it started to cause an after effect to the density of the water, but since it just started, there's no way of knowing when it will slow down.
Nature sits down.
Understood.
Life stands up.
I've been keeping track of all the microorganisms that have been emerging lately, keeping a thorough catalog of each species. Although Rookie made a discovery that might change a lot of things.
Life sits down.
Rookie, care to share this discovery with us?
Rookie turns toward Life.
Thanks a lot.
Rookie stands up.
Well, after going over the unknown data sent by Nature and Life, I did a comparison to data that is available on HQ. What I found was that some of the things on Earth isn't originally from there.
Can you explain some more?
From what I can formulate, some of those space debris might have been carrying some extra, possibly from worlds that blew up before they could start to form.
So what you're saying is that all of those asteroids, meteors, and other debris caused a reaction that led to the changes we are seeing now?
Exactly. And after going over some of my own data, turns out that some of the life on Earth came from somewhere else.
Do you have a ratio of organism origins?
I'm still working on it, along with the percentage of hybrids that are a result of the showers.
Comes from the upper left door.
Whose room is that coming from?
Truths.
Why am I not surprised? Looks like I need to file the necessary paperwork to update a lot of information.
Is there anything else, Rookie?
Nothing for now, Divine.
Like I said, I wasn't expecting much. And right now, I know what to expect in my office. I'll see myself off.
Divine leaves through the lower left door. Rookie picks up the food and walks towards the upper left door.
Now, if you would all excuse me, I need to take my rest period.
Truth stands up, picking up its food.
Go ahead, rookie. You deserve it.
Truth walks out the upper left door. Death stands up, picks up its food, takes it to the wastebasket.
As much as I want to get some rest, I need to start updating my equipment with this new data.
Death grabs a cup, fills it with hot water.
And thanks to the rookie, I have to send a request to my department to see if I can help narrow down the origins of the unknown organisms.
Death is dipping a tea bag into the water.
Oh, the joys.
Death walks out through the upper left door. Nature and Life stand up, taking their trash to the bin. Life grabs a cup, fills it with coffee.
So how much do you have to update Nature?
Nature grabs a napkin, placing a pastry on it.
Well, I don't have the hybrid problem that you have, but like Death, I would like to update a lot of things.
Life is going through the condiment station. Nature grabs a cup, fills it with coffee.
I would also have to contact my department to see if anything seems familiar to them.
In other words, more paperwork.
Nature and Life walk towards the upper left door.
More paperwork indeed. By the way, who cleans up the mess we made?
Well, the room cleans itself once it becomes empty.
Blackout, curtain drops, cue random noises.
Emily's cleaning by Alana Wood. Cast of characters: Amber, a young woman around the age of 19, outcast by her family. Once she turned 18, because of her sexuality, avid drinker, lives in a cleaning in the woods surrounded by kitchen appliances. Kate, a hiking woman around the age of 20, the type who would have plants that vine around the top of each room. She is a vitreous kind and progressive. Scene: clearing in the woods, accessible only by trail, but not far off from a small rural town. The clearing is littered with broken kitchen appliances, from refrigerators to toasters. A rather large meat freezer must be present. Some appliances have flowers planted in them. Large branches are stacked off the cleaning near trees. Someone obviously cares about the place. Time: 1995, mid-spring, early morning. Scene 1, setting: Amber's home in the woods, the place she has been living since she turned 18. The place is absolutely littered with kitchen appliances, big and small, which is used as storage, furniture, and decoration. At rise, Kate enters the clearing in early dawn. She enters on a mission looking for someone. She stops in her tracks as she emerges from the trees and takes in the strange sight of kitchen appliance garden before taking a seat on the log.
Wrong way?
Kate retrieves a map from her backpack and studies the trails.
No.
Kate surveys the area, tries to open an old refrigerator, but it is sealed with a lock. After a few moments, Amber, who is inside of the meat freezer, lifts the lid and watches Kate. The inside of the meat freezer is padded with random pillows. Battery-operated string lights are hung on the lid.
Excuse me. I'd appreciate you if you left my closet alone.
Kate is startled by the sudden voice and nearly jumps out of her skin. Amber climbs out of the freezer, shutting the lid behind her and snapping a padlock on.
Don't you think it's rude to show up unannounced and rifle through someone else's belongings? You must not have been taught manners, I guess.
Amber unlocks the closet and retrieves the sweater inside the door. There are photos of family alongside other photographs. Amber catches Emily viewing them.
Really?
She closes and locks her closet with more force than her makeshift bed.
I'm sorry, I didn't know anyone had moved in. Used to come here a lot as a kid before all the furniture showed up.
Kate gestures around. Amber remains stoic.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Kate.
Kate extends her hand to shake Amber. Amber turns from Kate and removes a bike lock that secures an oven closed. She retrieves a bottle of alcohol. She does not bother relocking the oven.
What are you doing here, Kate?
Standing awkwardly, not sure how to proceed, producing a camera from her bag.
Well, like I said, this was one of my favorite places as a kid. Lots of fond memories. There used to be a wooden kind of playhouse, but I'm guessing it's long gone now. Would you mind if I just took some photos of the scenery before I go?
Amber takes a rather large swig out of the bottle and sits on the ground with her back against some appliance.
Fuck, dude, it's nature. Do whatever you want. Just leave my shit alone. Don't take pictures of me.
Oh, well, thank you. I won't.
Kate circles the clearing, viewing dirt-filled toasters with flowers popping out, and occasionally takes photos of the woods. Amber continues her private party, taking drinks and watching Kate.
What you drinking there? A bit early for all the
Could you shut up? You don't know me. If drinking in the morning is what I want to do, then I'll do it. You sound like my fucking mother.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to strike a nerve.
The two once again go silent for a moment until Kate can no longer take it and makes her way around to Amber, joining her on the ground.
You know what? Let's live a little. Mind if I have a swig?
Amber hesitates, then hands Kate the bottle. Kate hesitates, and Amber motions her to go on.
Cheers.
Kate takes a small sip out of the bottle and begins coughing.
You call that a swig?
I haven't done this before.
Amber takes in the sight of Kate and decides to trust her.
First time? I started when I was 15. This town would kill you growing up in it. It seems perfect on the surface, but it has some real fucking issues, I'll tell you that. It ruins family and it ruins love. That's why I'm out here in the damn cold. The fact that you made it this long without a drink in this shithole really says something.
Well, I guess I'm not actually from here. I visited my cousin a lot when I was younger.
Kate's mood has immediately diminished as she trails off her sentence.
We used to have a little clubhouse thing out here, probably long gone by now.
Kate Tucker?
Miller, but yeah, Emily was my cousin.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. I loved her too. I'm Amber. We were close.
Amber and Kate share a moment of sincerity before Kate's face lights up.
You're the girlfriend.
No, we were, fuck it. Yeah, I'm the girlfriend. Don't mention it to anyone, please. The only other people that know are my family. They already kicked me out, but if anyone else found out, my mother just told me not to ruin the family's reputation.
I wouldn't dare.
You mentioned the playhouse.
Abruptly standing up and placing the bottle back into the oven.
You mentioned a playhouse or something like that?
Yeah, it was around here. That's why I came, I guess. I just miss her. 3 months without letters feel like an eternity. Emily was my best friend.
Come with me. I want to show you something.
Kate rises as lights fade, blackout. Scene 2, setting another section of the woods. A creak can be heard not far from the previous clearing, a wooden shack just large enough to fit 2 young girls comfortably and can now only fit one at a time. A tarp covers its roof. The inside of the shack should be visible to the audience as well and full of old dirty books, matted blankets, and old pillows. At Rise, Amber leads Kate on stage.
Just a little bit off.
Kate reacts to the shed with a mixture of joy, disbelief, and some sorrow as she enters.
I tried to keep it standing. This place was important to Emily, even when you were back home. Honestly, it's become important to me too. Like, it's the only piece of Emily left. There's a journal up on that shelf in there. I put it in a Ziploc once I heard she wouldn't be coming back. To keep it safe, you know. Just don't read page 17. I don't think you'd want.
Emerging from the shack holding a water-damaged copy of The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane.
It's different.
You haven't been around in years. I'm sure she changed things. I swear she spent more time out here than anywhere else. That's how we met. I came out here to drink freshman year and hide from my dad, and she was lying in the middle of the field reading a book. I started staying here when my parents found out about the two of us. It was nice for a while, but Freezers just seem to have more insulation in the winter.
Emily mentioned a lot of that in her letters. She talked about you all the time.
Hold book up.
Do you mind if I keep this? It was our favorite.
The shack was more yours than mine. Just please leave the journal. She wrote about me, even back then.
You were her favorite topic.
Slips the book into her bag and retrieves a box.
I kept all the letters about you. She was convinced you're her soulmate. I wanted to surprise her if you could ever.
I get it.
Motions to the box.
Are those them?
Hands the box to Amber.
3 years worth. I was really hoping I'd be able to get these to you. I had a feeling you'd be at Emily's clearing.
Blackout and a city.
Any last comments or thoughts?
Good job.
Like my favorite final.
Thanks, guys. It was a really fun class.
It was great. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a lot
Good
of
job,
fun. Thank you.
everyone.
Have a safe Christmas.